Live chatters. It is Sunday, the 18th of April, 2021. Well, where'd the time go? It was only 50 years ago that I was 22 years old. I hitched up to Madison, Wisconsin to spend the weekend with my friend Stuart. And guess what? I never went home, never went back to New York. Went from Madison, Wisconsin to Yosemite Park, to Eugene, Oregon, now to Portland. Hey Beth, how's your new job at Amazon going? Hey Jason, hello from the UK. Richier, nice to see you. Oh, let me go ahead and move this up here so I don't see myself in delay. Yeah. Hey, does anyone here know how to do YouTube Premiere? Noah's doing that these days, and I really want to start doing it. I know how you set it up, but you just show up at the... Anyway, anyone has any knowledge about how to do a YouTube Premiere video, let me know. Yop, nice to see you. Sparta, Mississippi. Carmen Hill, I don't think I've ever heard from you before. Hey, Pedar Shields, the scribe of the live chatters. It's very different from what I'm used to, I'm sure, Beth. Didn't you work in nonprofits and now you're working at Amazon? I couldn't think of two greater opposites, could you? Well, at least you're getting some money and paying your rent, right? That's the main thing. Too bad we can't have stimulus checks every other month. Hey, Donnell Taylor, nice to see you. The Bahamas must be really nice. Speaking of which, it is going to be 84 degrees again in Portland. It was 84 yesterday. The average high in April is 62. If you do your math, 22 degrees difference, 22 degrees warmer. I'm born in 22. Hey, Evelyn May, nice to see you. Sana Ismail from Denmark. How's the weather there? So, hey, Mohammed Al-Shanak from Gaza. Nice to see you, VC. Epicure, how can I change my thought during pandemic days? You change your thought during pandemic days as you would always change your thought on any other day. By choosing to think differently, by choosing to watch your thoughts, observe them, and then choose different thoughts. Sigmund Freud. I read your book on the interpretation of dreams. Very good. Abhishek Kuzak, India, one of my favorite places. All right. So Mohammed Al-Shanat is here, the university professor. Been through some tough times, as has the Gaza Strip. Hey, Henry from Canada. Nice to see you guys. So, did you see my video I posted early this morning on microdosing? Hey, Patrick. It's amazing. Wasn't it amazing outside? Did you see the video I sent you last night about the week in the stock market? Patrick and I are big-time investors. Okay, so let's say, hey, Evelyn May. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, my video. Came out this morning. Yes, very interesting. I know a lot of people who've done microdosing, actually. Of course, in most places, psilocybin is still legal. Here, you can actually have small doses in your possession. They've decriminalized it. Vancouver Island, yes, Terry Mary, I know your name. Oh, you're good. It's good to see you're okay, Mohammed Ashanat. Anyone tried LSD? Yeah, that back in 1969, it's 1970, sure. Well, it's interesting about microdosing because you're not on a quote-unquote trip, but it is enough to kind of just change your perception, and people swear by it. Although, I don't see how it's any better than a good bike ride. Anytime I ride up Rocky Butte, after 20 minutes, my perception has changed. I feel great. So I think there are other ways you can change your perception besides psilocybin, but, better living through chemistry. Again, I'm not proposing it. I know it's illegal, class 1 substances in many parts of the country, so you do it at your own risk. But yeah, but a lot of people report good results. So what else can we say about mental health? Well, there's a really good, I'm going to read it actually. I'm really glad we brought this up. So hold on for a second. So we all read the New York Times, right? Benedict Carey, one of my favorite mental health writers, writes for the New York Times. Can you see this? Science plays the long game, but people have mental health issues now. You see that? Science plays the long game, but people have mental health issues now. And the subtitle is, I've reported on behavior and mental health for 20 years. As I exit, oh my God, he's going to leave the Times? I can't help but wonder why researchers have placed so little emphasis on helping people in distress today. I'm going to say that again, because I just read this book called The New Mind-Body Science of Depression, which was really technical. All these brain imaging studies about what goes on and the electrical chemical system in the brain, very, very technical. And he says, as I exit my writing, I can't help but wonder why researchers have placed so little emphasis on helping people in distress today. Okay, so why is that happening, huh? How come there are all these scientific breakthroughs, but people are still dying today of suicide, people are still having depression, people are still going in mental hospitals, people are still shooting people? Why is this going on? Why haven't these scientific researchers been able to apply what they've learned to people suffering in the here and now, which is why we're doing this channel, which is why, to put a plug in, I have the website Overcoming Suicidal Pain right here, which is, I think, is the best website on suicide prevention. It took a lot of 2.5 years to do it with some really good designers. So yeah, why is that? People are still in as much distress as they were years ago. Thank you, 10 pounds. By the way, my viewership, for some reason, I don't know who all those trolls last week, but it's dropped from about 8,000 viewers every 48 hours to 5,000. I mean, it's 5,700. It's ridiculous. So any donations you could make to make up for my lost income on YouTube would be helpful. When you're at the bottom of the well, look up and see the light. Thank you, Jason. Easier said than done, but that's true. Jason 15141, I need to... Great read, Douglas, Pamela Perry. You read the article? My God, you are wonderful. I need to talk to my parents about something serious, as well as expressing my regret about not talking to them years ago about seeing a therapist. How should I approach them? I don't know. Maybe you should find a therapist now and talk it over with him or her. How old are you? And can you see your own therapist without your parents', permission? If it wasn't for this man, I wouldn't be alive right now. Well, that's very nice. Paranoise. Well, maybe you should change your name. I don't know. Interesting. YouTube. Speaking of which, I have a friend who actually suffers from paranoid schizophrenia, and the other day he was wanting to educate himself so he would, learn more about his condition. He went to the library and said, "Where do I find some good books on paranoia?" You know what you said? Right behind you. Isn't that dark humor? Where do I find some good books about paranoia? Right behind you. And there you think of it. I mean, there you have it. What am I saying? Did anybody think that was funny? Let me know. All right. I'm glad you are with us, Douglas, to save so many lives. Thank you, Peter. I'm walking out at Cape Cornwall. Yes, words can inspire, otherwise known as Gem, otherwise known as Janice. One of my big fans sent me some beautiful, beautiful, beautiful lozenges, which I can't find the little note you wrote, but it was really, really sweet. Panama, hey all, 5 months sober today. My self-talk today is, you're doing enough today no matter what. Accomplishment will follow. We'll practice the song Lord's Prayer for performance this week at meetings. Thank you, Madge. Music is a healing force. The fact you're expressing it, creativity is one good way to avoid addictions. What am I doing? I'm having some new videos, subjects come up soon, and one of them is about learned helplessness. When you don't have control of your life growing up, and you never know one day if your alcoholic mother or father is going to be nice or not nice, or whether you're going to move, or whether someone's going to have, a manic episode, it really messes with your mind, especially when you're young. So a lot of people growing up in dysfunctional homes or homes with addiction feel very depressed because they don't sense they have any control over their lives, and we need, as human beings, control and autonomy. Anybody here happen? Oh, thank you, by the way, Edward Steiner, for your $35 donation. There's a joke involved with this. I'm reading a book called Quick Money for Dummies by Robin Banks. Also, nothing tops a plain pizza. You are amazing. I'm going to use both of those, Edward. What am I going to do? I need to. I'm going to do this. See my iPhone? I'm going to take a photo of this. That way I don't have to worry about other stuff. Come on, Doug. Let's hit the photos. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Edward, those were very, very good. What do you guys think? Do you like his joke? I'm reading a book called Quick Money for Dummies by Robin Banks, and I like Nothing Tops a Plain Pizza. That's my favorite one. Thank you, Edward. I know your friends, do this for you, but still, really, really appreciate it. How do you feel comfortable with the uncomfortable, says Leo San Miguel. I don't know what quite that means, with the uncomfortable feelings within you or uncomfortable people. If you feel comfortable with the uncomfortable within you, it means you just have to essentially accept yourself for where you are and love yourself no matter what. Easier said than done. Jennifer H., my depression caused me to eat very little for weeks, which caused my anxiety to spike majorly. Now I eat more. Anxiety is better. Yes. When I had anxiety attacks or was on a bad trip, I remember always eat food. All right. Plain pizza sucks. I do, but it's a good joke. How can anybody feel any happiness when they literally live in a furnace? Well, that's a very good question. Although the great psychiatrist Viktor Frankl said when he was in the concentration camps, everything can be taken from man but one thing, his ability to choose his attitude in any given situation, the ability to choose his own way. So, Gaza Strip is an open-air prison. It's very, very difficult, I agree. One of the things Frankl found in the concentration camps that some people, in spite of the hell they were in, found a way to reach out and help others. So that's one thing you might do, Mohammed. Find some other suffering souls, which there are plenty of, and see if you can, alleviate or at least decrease their burden. I think you work in the university. There are probably a lot of people there who are worse off than you. Maybe you could, I don't know, if they have soup kitchens there or, contribute some money to a nonprofit, but think about helping other people who are suffering. Chom-choms. I have some friends who enjoy psychedelics. I've tried acid once, but it didn't very much for me. DMT was the only psychedelic that felt psychedelic to me. I only done very low doses. Nobody knows what DMT anymore. That's a very, 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 very old drug. Jennifer H. I ended up in the hospital for not eating, and the doctor said I would have died if I had waited another day. Wow. Yes. When people get anxious or depressed, they sometimes, turn off their survival instinct. Wounded Viking, I've never heard of you before. Hold on, you said that people choose their attitudes and actions, but you previously said that suicide isn't a choice. I didn't say that. Well, suicide is a choice to some extent in that you do make a conscious decision. Yeah. But you don't blame anybody for dying by suicide because not everybody can bear the pain. Wow, Lazy Eye Ranch often forgets to eat. We should have a cooking class here, huh? Paranoid, I have this pseudo-philosophical belief that people don't make choices. Well, that is a pseudo-philosophical belief. If they don't make choices, does that mean they're all kind of doomed by some predetermined, that's what the Calvinists said, but I don't believe it. I've seen many people make good choices and bad choices. It's a tough philosophical question. Nobody knows the answer, but I choose to believe in choice. If I didn't, I'd be more depressed than I normally am. Edward Steiner, we could use a little bit more contributions here. Yes, and also another joke. I love your jokes. Hang in there, Shirley. Go for a walk with a good friend. Yes, what is a joke I told on the live chat? God, you forget these things so quickly, don't you? Darn. I'll have to go to my YouTube jokes somewhere around here. Oh, that was really good. Oh, I'm a mathematician. I'm afraid of negative numbers. I will stop at nothing to avoid them. I'm afraid of negative numbers. I will stop at nothing to avoid them. Come on, you guys must get it, right? Stop at nothing, like 0 is between negative and positive integers. Yeah. So we almost see positive, glass is half full, complaining puts us in a bad mood. Yes, but some people with depression don't seem to have any choice. But where's this article from Benedict Carey? I want to see what he has to say about. Okay, now I just have to find out what I did with it. How interesting. It was right here. I was showing it to you guys. Oh my God. Is anybody here absent-minded like me? This is pathetic. Ah, here it is. For method, I wish I'd had that joke to tell my students back then. Yeah, a very, very good joke. There's another one, another math joke that I was given, but I forgot what it was. But, you know, of course, the favorite dessert of any math teacher is pie. I didn't know you were a math teacher, Shirley Kay. That's what I did. Evelyn May, I know when my episodes start, I lose my appetite, but as I feel better, my appetite gets better, especially at night. Yep, late eating does affect sleep problems. Helper's high, very good, thank you. The Psychology Today defined helper's high as when you do good for other people, you feel better. Yes, this guy is signing off. Like most science reporters, I want to report on something big. But during my tenure, the science informing mental health care did not proceed smoothly along any trajectory. On the other hand, the field attracted enormously scientific talent. There were significant discoveries, particularly in elucidating levels of consciousness in brain injury patients who appear unresponsive, and in formulating the first persuasive hypothesis of a cause for schizophrenia based on brain biology. On the other hand, science did little to improve the lives of millions of people living with persistent mental distress. Yang, almost every measure of our collective mental health, rates of suicide, anxiety, depression, addiction, deaths, psychiatric prescription use went the wrong direction, even as access to services expand greatly. What happened? After 20 years of covering the field here and the LA Times, I have a few theories and some ideas on what might be required to return things around. Early in my job, I started to field a steady stream of calls and emails, usually from parents asking, my son is suicidal, we've tried everything, what can we do? Our daughter is cutting herself, she's out of control, can you recommend a therapist or someone to talk to? More than a few of these queries came from colleagues at the New York Times. Others came from friends and family. All right, we're going to read more of that article, but why are people still suffering? Yes, Brian Zimmerman, this is, I forgot to mention, the Depression Radio Hour with Pastor Douglas Bloch, or is it Pastor Doug? That's right. Yes, Wounded Viking. I know you. I'm actually no. You're right. I've had 18 months suicidal episodes. It's been very intense, very frequent. That's right. It did pass, but you know, not everybody has the same ability to hold on. So again, no blame. You tried microdosing but no help? Well, nothing helps everybody. Yes, the pain of suicide never dies, just gets passed on to others. Yes, I've heard that. Shirley K, sorry you have eating disorders, so many people. Yes, Rick M. Rick M lost his mother to suicide, I think. Hey, Rattles Langan. Hello, Mr. Douglas. How are you? I don't know. Tuning in. I'm doing much better now, but when I've had those daily attacks, it was too much. TN is always known as a suicide disease. She means trigeminal neuralgia. Sigmund Freud. I helped 2 people recover from personalization. Doctor, so I changed my name from Taco Platter. Much love. Oh, how great. I knew you were sounded familiar. Yeah, Taco Platter. By the way, Rick M., if you're still suffering, why don't you go ahead and go to Lions of Hope website. Yes, Sarmad Halabi, every week he says, hit the like button. We really need that. My views and therefore my income are dropping, but not your responsibility. Anyway, so Rick M., I think I mentioned this. Go to the Alliance of Hope for help if you have lost someone to suicide. Thank you, Pedar Shields, 20 euros. Much appreciate that. Pedar, Edward, Taco Plaza, the regular contributors. Let's see if we can get some other people to step up. That would be really, really helpful. Even it's $1.99. Of course, Jason Clulo, I can't forget you, obviously. A huge, huge, huge supporter of this channel. Rick M, I don't think the pain ever goes all away. You have all of our support. Yes, it never goes all the way, but it can be managed. Oh, sorry, Rick M. Do you have support? Have you gone to the Alliance of Hope website? allianceofhope.org? Yeah. The Swiss are right. To be honest, a few nights ago, I searched on YouTube for reasons not to kill yourself and stumbled upon your videos that actually did help. Well, thank you. The Swiss were right. I appreciate that. I'm gonna put a link right here for my new website that gives a lot of really good reasons that I used when I was desperate. So I'm going to go over there and then come right back. Okay. So let me see. Safari really has a really bad. I'll go somewhere else. Hold on. I'm looking right now for a link I want to put here. All right, so whoever said they found reasons, oh yeah, the Swiss were right. Here's a link for you from my new website where I talk about reasons not to make an attempt, including fear of death, belief in reincarnation, not wanting to hurt people who leave behind. Check out that link, the Swiss are right, and see if you can find some reasons that can help you. Yeah, well, of course, expressing your grief is exactly right on the money, Shirley K. Okay, Wounded Viking. I don't think that doesn't really seem like the right kind of comment for here. So I'm just going to basically remove you. I didn't want to go through this again. Thank you. Okay, here we go again. All right. Yes, Master Procrastinator, I had the same problem you did. I think if I died by myself, if I did take my own life, I would come back as me. Huh. Wow. Lazy Eye Ranch, I'm telling you, you should go to Alliance of Hope also. Well, I've been struggling from depression since I've been 18, and I haven't given up, so. Sergio Rodriguez, nice to see you too. This was right. Thank you for your contribution. My job is causing most of my depression, but since I can't leave yet, I can use some of the money to help someone who helped me. Thank you for doing this. I will check out the link. Yes, will you get back to me, the Swiss were right? You can get back to me at my email address, DOUGLASBLOCH All right. So there's how to get a hold of me, and let me know if that helped the Swiss right. What makes me hold on? That's a good question. Fear of death, not wanting to reincarnate again, mostly not wanting to hurt the people who care about me. And I also know Peggy Joan. Joan is my wife. Peggy is my nickname. This is a good connection. Try some psyching for sleep. Yeah. So Pedar Shields is inviting Rick to join the email group. I do not feel empathy for others, to be honest. I have this feeling what would not matter to me if I would hurt others. Yeah, well, that's the suicidal mind talking about all about. I understand that. I'm going to put another link called "Don't Believe What Your Brain Is Telling You." Yeah, Peggy Joan, interesting. So I'm going to my website and getting another link for this person. Okay. So here is a link called "Don't Believe What Your Brain Is Telling You," right here. So when your brain tells you that nobody would care if you died, that's hogwash. I guarantee you someone out there would definitely feel bad. I can say things can get better. I've had ketamine treatments and I feel so much calmer and hopeful. There you have it. Well, ketamine is one thing that people can try if they can find a place to do it. It is legal right now. For me, I can't let the person in the mirror down. Well, Jason Cluo, you have some self-esteem. That's good. Richier says, hey, the Swiss are right. My job causes me anxiety and poor sleeping. Consulted my doctor. Now take the medication, which helped me sleep amazingly. We'll see. Lockdowns definitely don't help. Many things I used to enjoy haven't been available for a long time. You're absolutely right. My wife, Joan, used to go to the gym, used to get massages. It's really messed up her schedule, and she has said it was the worst year of her life. So things are opening up gradually in the U.S. It's just messed up with people's mental health big time. What can I do when antidepressants help, but they all cause horrible sexual side effects? Well, talk to your doctor. Keep trying other ones. Otherwise, it might be a trade-off. But there are some antidepressants out there, like the one I'm on, Wellbutrin, that aren't supposed to do that. But everybody's different. I would talk to your prescriber. My fearful thoughts are always a lie. Usually a lie. I try to remind myself it's my OCD, not me. Thank you. And that's actually a book called Brain Lock. Called So in this book, by Jeffrey Schwartz, he says, it's not me, it's my OCD. Yes, Jason, I realize that we have an illness, we shouldn't be hard on ourselves. And what is, someone said they were getting a book. I'm getting your book, Words That Heal, Believe in Affirmations, and I'm trying to write that down. Peggy Joan, Words That Heal is going to be an audiobook. It's going to be serialized on this channel starting next week. All of the 52 meditations are going to be on there. So, you love the person in the mirror, Kevin Wilson? That's great, because you wouldn't want to harm that person, would you? If there's nothing after death, and death is pretty boring, you should stick around, because anything you experience in life, as long as it's not constant pain, is more entertaining than death. I couldn't agree with you more. 1, 2, do you think that biased term hurting yourself is used unfairly when talking to suicidal people, because there are many times where there are no logical reasons against suicide? Well, I don't know. I mean, some people find logical reasons, like me, like, I'm afraid of death. That's logical. It's a survival instinct. We all have it. Or I don't want to hurt the people I leave behind. Everybody has to figure out their own reason. And if you can't, well, it's interesting. The Swiss Knight, if your sleeping medication isn't working, there's so many others. There's like the antidepressants, amitriptyline, Remeron, trazodone. Those are all used in low doses. And of course, there's Ambien, which is a sedative, and I mean, of course, which is, can be habit forming, but you need to talk about with your doctor. But there are something out there you could use. Even, well, I can't recommend stuff, but there are things you can use. All right. I'm not conducting any trainings right now, just my work, my books, and I have a new website you can take a look at. It's still in progress, but this is my own website. Let me know what you think. It's still in progress, okay? It's very simple. DouglasBloch.com. Is that going to go anywhere? Helen is, hey, Doug and Mark and Helen, nice to see you. We're watching you. Yes, Jennifer H., nice to see you also. Sweet teen family, Peggy, that is very right. You should treat yourself like you would a loved one that needed cheering up. Who wrote the article in the LA Times? It was called Benedict Carey. I'll type it out right there. He's actually retiring from his work as a mental health writer. He's also in the New York Times. He's amazing. I have so many articles I've read him. By the way, thank you, the regulars, for contributing. Pedar and Edward Steiner and Chom's, who's now Sigmund Freud. Oh no, Taco Platter's now Sigmund Freud. Thank you, the Swiss were right. Your first donation. Let's see if we can get some more and some more likes. As they say, our YouTube videos views have dropped significantly, and I'm not quite sure why, but even $2 makes a big difference. There's a Get Self-Help website, very helpful book called Overcoming Shyness and Social Anxiety by Dr. Gillian Butler, or Gillian. I've heard of that. Hey, Joan, are you there? Guess what? I don't have a mic on. I'm going to turn on the fan. It's going to be 82 degrees, and it is going to very, very, very warm. It's already starting to be warm in this office, which is why I'm in a short sleeve shirt instead of a black turtleneck, right? Oh. All right, what else have we got going on here? I've always provided suggestions and referrals with a disclaimer and helped to code the psychiatric jargon if needed. I always followed up later to see how things were going. The mental health system for all its caring professionals is chaotic and extremely difficult to navigate. There are few system-wide standards and vast and hidden differences in quality of care. Yeah. Yeah. Paxil, Prozac, and Zoloft backfire, causing a number of users a small number of suicidal thinking and behavior. Yep. That's what happened to me. Yeah, a lot of money from pharmaceutical industry goes into the antidepressants and using expert panels. So yeah. So what he's saying is that, and Bernard Carey is saying, the mental health system is still chaotic, unconnected, disorganized. These medications are sometimes terrible, and despite all this brain research, no new breakthroughs in patient care. That's why we have this channel. Oh, Claire Johnson, cool. Well, hey, why don't you guys donate some money? Hot for a chance? I'm joking. Claire is a very good friend and editor, and Tom is my accountant. I hope you're enjoying this. All right. Uh, the medium's ball has been canceled due to unforeseen circumstances. Oh, that's funny. I don't know if everyone's going to get that. Hey, program this. Hey, Douglas, love your channel. Would you be willing to explain what mental difficulties you had or have suffered from? Well, do you have 6 hours? Program this. Okay, let's start when the sperm hit the egg. My mother was very anxious, and then one day she fell down the stairs, and she fell on her stomach, and I went, oh my God, I'm startled, and then I had startled problems the rest of my life. Okay, that's 1 minute. All right. I would say the mental difficulties I've had have been anxiety growing up, very fearful, very hypervigilant, and depression starting when I was 18, alternating back and forth sometimes at the same time. No schizophrenia. I have bipolar 2 disorder. I sometimes have gotten really hypomanic, not anything bad, didn't spend all my money on the lotteries or anything, but I'd say depression first, anxiety second, starting when I was a child. That's an overview. The Voice of North Korea by Yomi Park. Interesting thing. All right. Rick M is having complicated grief. I don't think any medications can cure grief. Right. Well, time can cure grief. Rick M, have you gone to Alliance of Hope? That's where people join together to comfort each other. Please help this boomer to donate. Just click on the dollar sign, Peggy Joan. Super chat. It'll open up. You can donate whatever you want. Otherwise, you can send me a PayPal donation, right? PayPal address. You know, it's interesting. When I was doing my support groups, depression and anxiety support groups for 19 years, there was nothing else like it in all of metropolitan Portland. Can you believe it? And it costs virtually nothing to run. I'm just a master's degree in counseling. I'm not even licensed, which got me in trouble. But anyway, anybody can run a depression support group. It's like Alcoholics Anonymous. But there are these low-cost solutions for people's mental health issues, or at least supports, and it's not happening. Why? Because there's no money in it. That's why. Program this. Wow, thanks, Douglas. I've had anxiety, depression, bipolar 1. First time in the psych ward was in my Army boot camp. Had my first manic episode. Well, program this. Bipolar 1 is nothing to fool with. I hope you are in the care of a good psychiatrist or psychologist and or nurse practitioner. You know, it's very, very biological. A manic episode can be really, really, hey, I never felt better than this. I'm on top of the world. I think I'm going to be the next great Michael Jordan. There's nothing I can't do. My God, I can spend all this money. Money is a renewable resource. And then, pow, you crash. And then it's hell. Someone donated $5, and that was Program This. Thank you very much. Hope I didn't scare you with that pow, but I've seen too many people crash manic episodes. It is not pretty, my friend, not pretty. Doesn't that remind you of the Wizard of Oz? Hello, my pretty. All right. 1, 2, have you tried CBT, medications, meds, meditation? Suicide's the final step. There's no reversing it. Yeah, it is the forever decision. And looks like Nancy Vo, $1,000. I mean, it's amazing. No, it's RSD. It's something from Serbia? Yeah, foreign currency. Well, might have to scroll down the page to see the dollar sign. Yeah. Texas Angel, Wendy from Texas. Nice to hear from you. What a lovely soul a Texas Angel is. That's right. Shelley K., you can go to my Patreon account if you want to have a renewing thingamajig. If I can find it. Well, I guess I can. Not yet. But anyway, here it is. www.patreon.com/Douglas Bloch. Go to that account. For as little as $2 a month, you can become a member. And also, when going through Hell Don't Stop, my book written 22 years ago about my depressive breakdown and recovery, now available on audible.com. I serialize it on this channel. Some of you are interested, just go back a couple months. You'll see all of the episodes here on YouTube. About Alibod, I feel like CBT is useless because no matter how much I try to change my thinking, new negative thoughts come up. Yeah, well, sometimes these things have a strong biological component, so sometimes things like medication or in some kinds TMS. And I'm going to have a banana because I'm very, very hungry. Talking uses up energy. It's banana break time. All right. 45 minutes after the hour, a beautiful day in Portland. And Lazy Eye Ranch is very self-sufficient. She has to be if she's living on her own off the grid. Pedar Shields is showing people how to join the email group. How many people are in that group right now, Pedar? About 60? Nancy, it's always nice to hear from you. I love your photo or your drawing. I sold my vacuum cleaner today. All it was doing was collecting dust. I agree with you. That's actually not too bad. Another joke. I love the Edward Steiner quote. Something about there's no topping a plain pizza, something like that. Anyway, yes, I love the jokes. I use them on my videos. Yeah, thank you, Master Procrastinator. That's a good one. All right. And what is the Haven? I'll Google it myself before I approve this. Huh. Interesting. They have a horrible website, but no, that's not it. Anyway, you might want to give us the URL because when I try to go ahead and find that, there's too many things that come up. The Haven is a mental health Discord server. Well, you'll have to go ahead and give it an actual URL because there's too many things called the Haven when you try to Google it. All right. Do you guys have some sort of support chat or something? Well, there's this, but there's also a WhatsApp Messenger support group. So go right to Pedar Shields or ask somebody right now to give you his email. Yes, they do. This community does have a support chat group. Absolutely. Sammy for depression. Yes, it's an amino acid, and a lot of people really do well on it. I'm in a profession says a Swiss right that has incredibly high rates of alcoholism, and I'm starting to see why I have rules for one, how much I can permit myself to drink. And what is the profession you're in, if you don't mind sharing? Robin Stanley, I feel like I've been going through depression for 2 years and tried meds after meds. I don't think like there's any hope for me. Well, there is something called transcranial magnetic stimulation. There's ketamine therapy. There is ECT, and in extreme cases, there's now psilocybin therapy that's being studied at Johns Hopkins and Harvard. So don't give up, Robin. Talk to your therapist, talk to your prescriber, see if you can go on one of these alternative treatments, especially TMS. Help one of the people in my depression support groups. If you want to learn more about these things, just go to my website, https healingfromdepression.com. Yeah, let's go find it, and I'll just copy and paste it. That's better. Right. Here's the website where I talk about other ideas for treatments besides antidepressants, so you might want to take a look at it. Robinson, but hold on, you can find something. How to deal with hypersomnia from depression, that's a good point. Sleeping too much, yeah. Life is full of misery, loneliness, and suffering. It's all over much too soon. Yes, Woody Allen, I love that quote. Here you, dear Douglas, how are you? Payment is in Serbian dinars. It is about symbolic to 10 US, yeah. Anyway, I'll look it up. Thank you. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your lovely, YouTube name or at least your visual image. You might recommend any herbal supplements for anxiety. Kava Kava was really big when I was writing my book in 2000, but don't take it from me. You should talk to a naturopath or somebody in your area, assuming you have naturopaths. But yeah, you can look them up online, but do not take anything unless you tell your therapist or prescriber. Just because something's herbal doesn't mean it doesn't have side effects. Shirley K is talking about some sort of a technique, an Abad Alibad, hypersomnia, too much sleep, just have to treat the depression. Oh, brain spotting, I see, yeah. Do you think that a suicidal person should have a moral obligation to live for the sake of their parents? The parents could have stopped suffering, and it's not the person's fault. Parents exist. Well, I can't tell you what to do, but I think that I have seen that when people die by suicide, there's a train wreck. Someone once said it doesn't end the pain, it just passes it on. So moral obligation, it's not for me to tell you what's morally right or wrong, but I can tell you that most people who can wait it out do get better. And I know that's hard. That's where you need support. You need a support group. You need the Alliance of Hope. Well, that's for people who have lost suicide. It's this channel, therapy groups, therapists, priests, ministers, rabbis, imam from the Muslim community, anything you get your hands on. And I do have this website, again, that I've created to help people overcome suicidal pain. And I will, one more time, put the URL because it has helped a lot of people. And again, I've written this or created this for people who are going through what you're going through. And here it is. So, if you have a suicidal 1-2 feelings or thoughts, A, get professional help, and B, this website, overcomingsuicidalpain.com, has everything I know about how to get through the suffering until things get better. I'm suffering from DP and DR. Give me some tips to recover fastly. I don't know, but there's a guy named Sigmund Freud on here who does. He helped other people. So I have not been through it myself, but I'm sure there's lots of videos on it, and also talk to your prescriber. Sorry I didn't have any personal experience. Does anybody in the chat have personal experience about recovering from DP or DR? All right. Yeah, so the person who asked the question, there are many, many people out there who know how to get through that, and I'm not one of them. So you should take advantage of the people here Ali Ali, or you should go Google it. And again, see a good therapist. 1, 2, there's been a conversation. Why would I challenge that fact? I haven't been following the thread between 1, 2 and Padar Shields. How can CBT support suicide? Well, it does focus on the facts, but when people are suicidal, their facts are distorted. That's why you should never trust what you think when you're super depressed. I was absolutely convinced that my life was over in 1947. I was 46. I was never going to write a book again. I was not going to help anybody. I was washed up, and I stayed alive. And everything after the age of 46 has been my purpose. Helped in raising my 2 godchildren, writing 6 or 7 books, doing this, my depression website, doing my suicide prevention website, having my podcast, and having this YouTube channel. All happened after I thought I was washed up. So what happened? My brain was not telling the truth. You know what they say, right? Depression lies about the future, right? So the so-called facts are not facts. They're distortions. Even though you think they're facts, that's what's so bad about being severely depressed. Yes, I'm not going to get better. Yes, this is forever. Yes, this is a hell that will never end. No, that's your brain telling you the wrong thing. But that's why you need help, because if left to you, you can't see through your own, false beliefs. Yeah, the tapping solution. A lot of people find tapping very helpful. Yeah, I'm not afraid to. I just want to be there when it happens. Yes, Lisa Ranch, I know all of those quotes. What do you do when you get hypomanic? Yeah, my thoughts are racing. They're kind of pressured. I don't need as much sleep. Everything seems great. And when I'm in it, I don't know it. Only after the fact. So I have to have my wife, Joan, or my therapist point out, hey, Douglas, you're a little sped up today. Your talk is pressured. Your mind is going really racing. I think you need to go ahead and, take a deep breath and take your Lamictal. So feeling really good when I'm hypomanic. Who wouldn't want to feel good? That's what makes mania so treacherous, because this can't be bad. I feel too great, especially bipolar 1. So I feel good. Less sleep. Things I can do. Optimistic, joyful. Nothing is impossible. That's how I feel when I'm hypomanic. But then what goes up must come down. Program this. So you need to recognize your own signs and have people around you who are keeping tabs on you. Susan Jones, you are late today. Only 4 minutes left. I'd love to hear from you. From Virginia. How's life? Are you, during COVID, were you teaching remotely? Douglas, what is your view of caffeine on depression? Caffeine is a mild antidepressant. Every time I take it, I feel better. My wife, Joan, feels better. I think, and it also has a lot of polyphenols and antioxidants, so it's actually somewhat healthy. But if you have anxiety, it can ramp up your anxiety. And if you start drinking too much of it, it can mess up your stomach. So everything in moderation, right? Including moderation. So you should research it. But I think the consensus is that it's a mild antidepressant. But does that mean you should do it nothing else if you're suffering from severe grief like you are? No, you need to do other things, but it probably could help a little bit. But, you aren't dealing with complicated mourning. It's been 2 years since your mother died. It doesn't matter. If you go on allianceofhope.org, you will see many people who are grieving 5, 6, 10 years later. So, yeah, it's the hardest thing that I've ever done, is to hold on when every fiber of my being said, you got to end your pain, you got to end your life. The hardest thing I or anything else buddy has ever done. And I'm watching this incredible documentary for you Americans on PBS on the life of Ernest Hemingway, an amazing documentary by Ken Burns, I love writers. Hemingway was a brilliant writer, but he had an obsession with death and suicide. His father died by suicide, and eventually he took his own life. But look at his struggle. It's in his writings, it's in his memoirs, and yeah, that's a hard road to hoe, let me tell you about it. I'm very glad I overcame it, and I'm not out of the woods yet. I worry. A breakdown is just a shot away. Remember that? Come on, Let It Bleed? Yeah, it's just a shot away, right? Rolling Stones from the film Seven Freed from Stardom? Great, great, great film about the backup singers of many, many groups in the 60s and 50s. How's that for a little bit of digression? Why are so many writers suicidal and depressed? It comes with the profession. So are poets, so are artists, so are musicians. Anybody who's super, super sensitive is much more prone to moodiness and extreme ups and downs. And James Taylor was in the psych ward at McLean when he did his first album. Aunt Robert Lowell, Virginia Woolf. I mean, you can just. A matter of fact, there's a great book by Kate Redford Jameson called "Touched by Fire," all about the artists who have manic depression. You may want to read it. You guys are probably too young to know who he is, but there's a man named Kurt Vonnegut who was a very popular writer in the 60s. He wrote Cat's Cradle, Slaughterhouse-Five, and he came to Portland to teach how to become a writer. I was very interested, and so I went to his seminar, and he said the first thing you need to do, the first prerequisite to becoming a good writer is to be a depressive. I had no idea what he was talking about. I was 36 years old, no idea what he meant, until I started to have major breakdowns and started to become a writer myself. So, yes, it's an occupational hazard being a writer. Vincent Starry Night, it's about Van Gogh. He suffered from mental illness and gave art to the world. I relate completely. Yes, Starry Night, a beautiful, beautiful song. And Peter Shields once again giving his email address. Touch with Fire is a movie. It must be a different movie program. This Touch with Fire is a compendium of studies of artists with mental illness. I don't think they made it. I think it was Touched by Fire is what it's called. What did I say? You're phenomenal. Yeah, well, I'll take that. Yeah, I know. Working for Amazon, you're like on the what is it called? The assembly line. Yeah. Well, of course you love Kurt Vonnegut. You're only a few years younger than I am. He was brilliant. Oh, the Swiss are right. I'm 26. Hey, how did you get exposed to him at 26? I can't imagine it. Wow, Douglas, you were so eloquent describing what you have been through and how you felt it. Well, I like what the country's singer said about losing a love, being rejected. Something like, she took my heart right out and stamped that sucker flat. How's that? How do you regain the light? You call upon it. You ask for it. And then you do what your inner promptings say. The light does come back, but you have to sometimes tough it out. In the meantime, even yourself, Douglas, you're a writer of depression and suicidal. Of course, master procrastinator. I said it's an occupational hazard, right? And it is touched by fire. All right, so before I go, anybody who's looking to find the light again, who has given up hope, I guarantee you this will help you. I have called upon it again and again for myself, for my godson, for friends. It works. This is a phenomenal organization. It's free of charge. I've known about them since 1971 when I was 22. They've been around since 1889. An amazing, amazing spiritual metaphysical organization. Sun Unity Prayer Ministry. It's 1-816-969-2000. Or get their app. download it from the App Store. Okay, you pray. You can actually go ahead and you can type in a prayer. You can listen to affirmations. It'll get back to you immediately. I think it's one of the best chats today. Thank you, Douglas, for sharing your story and how someone seeing you. I don't feel so bad in my abyss. Well, good. Well, last week was a disaster. I almost didn't come back this week with those trolls. A couple of them were here today, but I got rid of them. And they're leaving some really nasty comments on my website. But on my YouTube comments, look, there's evil in the world. There always has been. There always will be. And I'm pretty lucky that I haven't encountered it as much as some other people. So you have loved this. Thank you. Well, anybody called Peggy Joan has got to be my friend. My wife is Joan, an amazing woman, and yeah, here she is. Taken years ago at Cape Lookout. I don't know what all these reflections. Oh, what are you going to do, huh? Sucks. Here we are. A little better. God, it looks like she's like a spirit. That was at Cape Lookout. My life was going nowhere until Joan and I got together when I was 34 years old, and everything turned around. Everything. My entire career, writing career, counseling career, it all took off. So behind every good man there's a woman. Behind every good woman there is a man. Behind every successful human being are other people. We are in it together. We are not meant to heal alone. We are meant to heal in community. Human beings need each other, and that's it. Lazy Ranch, I'm sorry about the trolls. Even my church was getting that crap. Yeah, well, along with links to porn sites in the comments. Yeah, well, as I say, it's nice to believe that even if you're struggling mentally, someone can love you, of course. And if you can love yourself, that's even better. All right, well, it's 1:06. Oh my God, I've gone overtime today. You guys are lucky. My good assistant and editor Claire is coming by. Yeah, well, financial disaster helped a lot of people. Hurt a lot of people. It's horrible. It does lead to depression, but I don't know. People are resilient. Maybe you can get some financial counseling. But in the meantime, I am going to get ready for my meeting with Claire and other things. So, okay. Yeah. Any final donations? You can make them in the next 10 minutes, even after I go off the air. What do I think about the Gucci PPE going $15,000? I have no idea. I do invest in equities, but thank you, Program This. I hope you come back. You asked some really good questions, and it was really great to have you here. And yes, the Swiss were right. Tune in next time. You're a wonderful, wonderful contributor. And so until we meet again, yes, well, Joan is amazing. One day I'll have to have her, Peggy Joan, see? Now you got to see the other Joan. Until we meet again, I wish you a good week. Spring has sprung. Talk to you later.